end of September, I went down to Bogota, Colombia with Clarence Eckerson from Street Films, Carla Quintero from Transportation Alternatives, and actually Ethan Kent from Project for Public Spaces was along for the ride as well. We were taken around by Guillermo Gil Peñalosa, who is the brother of the former mayor Enrique Peñalosa. And he gave us a great tour. We saw all of these incredible urban design innovations that the city of Bogota has been working on for the past dozen years or so. And it was really impressive. We got to take a look at that city's bus rapid transit system, which is called Trasmilenio. About 10 years ago, when Enrique Peñalosa became mayor, there was a plan on the table to build a network of elevated highways all throughout the city of Bogota. It was incredibly expensive and multi-billion-dollar project. And Peñalosa and his administration looked at this project and said, this isn't going to do anything actually to solve our traffic congestion problem. It's going to create huge negative environmental impacts on the city as a whole. So Peñalosa decided to scrap that project and instead, for a fraction of the cost, replace it with what I think still today is probably the world's most advanced bus rapid transit system.
Tell us what is Trasmilenio?
Trasmilenio is a bus rapid transit, an economical model specially developed to operate in Bogota in the main corridors, with the objective is to give a segregated lane, exclusive lane for big buses, in order to the people can move very quickly, but with 10 times less the cost of the traditional mass transit system in the world.
Some people call it surface subway. And you could kind of see why. It's buses on rubber wheels, just like you'd see buses in New York. But what you see they've done is, like, in the middle of these busy multi-lane avenues, almost highways, they've taken away a couple lanes in the middle and they've built these stations. And next to the stations, you'll see usually 2 lanes of buses running on either side. You have a lane for local bus traffic and for buses to pull into the station, and you have another lane for the express buses. The buses pull right up to the platform so that the floor of the bus is level with the floor of the station. So it's really easy for wheelchairs and older people and people pushing strollers to get on and off the buses. I got to interview the CEO of the Trasmilenio system, and she's someone who was there from the very beginning of the system and kind of worked her way up.
Before Trasmilenio in 1998, one trip of 30 kilometers can be done in 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes. That same trip, you can do it today in 55 minutes.
And how many people are you moving every day?
Around 1.3 million people per day. I think nobody believes in Bogota that we could change the way to transport our people, because since 1947 we start doing some studies, 50 years trying to do some things about this, but nobody says we are going to do it.
They took us on a tour of the Trasmilenio control room. It was almost like air traffic control, and in fact that's how they compared it. There's 6 different companies actually own and operate the buses themselves.
How many buses are you guys controlling in here at rush hour?
In a peak hour, like 1,000.
Do you have a sense of an average speed?
28 kilometers per hour in average, but we have lines of near road 40.
Wow. This central hub that we visited dispatches the buses, it follows them around the city in real time. They can communicate with drivers individually. You see a photo of the bus driver pop up on the controller's computer screen when he's getting ready to talk to that guy. They can see if buses are starting to bunch or stack up together. Most of the Trasmilenio system are these double long red buses, but traveling around through city neighborhoods, you see these much smaller green buses, and those are called feeder buses. And then what the feeder buses do is they travel through neighborhood streets and pick up people and take them to the bigger bus stations. One of the interesting things about the green feeder buses is that they're free. You don't pay for your Transmilenio ride until you get to the bigger bus station. That's one of the things that really speeds up the loading and the unloading, kind of like the subway in New York. You're paying for the bus in the station rather than having to pay the driver and wait for everyone else to pay the driver. One of the most impressive sort of intermodal transportation features that we saw while we were in Bogota was this bike parking facility inside of a bus station.
For the Transmilenio system, it's very important the integration between transportation means. We have today 3 terminals and 1 station with bike parking facilities. In this case, we're in America's terminal. This parking facility has 750 capacity. It's very safe. It's a good feeder system for the Transmilenio, and it's for free.
Nosotros compramos la tarjeta de Transmilenio para ingresar. Pasamos por la registradora y dejamos los datos ahí. Nosotros nos dan un sticker con un número de identificación de la bicicleta. Nosotros damos el nombre y el sticker y siempre nos preguntan a la salida y a la entrada.
Hay veces que el Transmilenio lo utilizo 4 o 5 veces en el día y es el mismo trayecto. Me vengo en bicicleta y me voy en bicicleta. Para mí es bueno.
They believe that for every 20 people they can get to bike to the bus station, that's 1 less of these green feeder buses that they need to operate. And that saves the transit system a lot of money. So for Bogota, bicycles are a really critical part of the mass transit system. One of the things that's really striking about Transmilenio is all times a day, it was just packed. I mean, almost if there's a criticism of the system, you know, that had to be it. But, you know, it was really kind of mind-blowing. I mean, the fact that, you know, as an American, I mean, I don't know that much about Colombia. I think of it as a, you know, developing nation or a third world country. This bus system was so much more advanced and high-tech than anything I've ever seen in the US.
How has Transmilenio changed the city? You know,
Before we couldn't dream to be talking with you, saying we are going in New York to change something and we want to see you, Bogota. The name of our nation now is in the world and for good things.
Right.
And Transmilenio is one of the best things that we have in the last 10 years.